And here it is, Warlord Games Victory at Sea, two-player starter battle for the Pacific. You get the U.S. and Japanese fleets, and you duke it out in the Pacific. This is a great way to get into Victory at Sea, and in fact, the only way currently that I know of to get the rulebook for the game. I'm going to turn this around here. As you can see, you get a number of ships on the US and Japanese side, water map, and a bunch of other stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start unboxing this for us. As you can see, there's quite a few stuff here. This is the US starter ships, the bigger ships. And here are the Japanese, and we'll take a closer look at these shortly. And then the destroyer starter ships for both factions. You also get D6 dice, and I think D10 dice. And then some other stuff here, ship cards and damage trackers. A paper or instruction leaflet on how to work with Warlord Games resin kits. Also, you get a code for World of Warships. This whole box has been packed by Morella. And then finally we get to the last bits here. We get, it looks like 2 water maps. And then we get some punch card tokens. And then lastly, the rulebook. So, pretty compact 2-player starter. You get just enough to get a taste of the game. You can also add other ships as they've released a number of them. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and take a look at the meat and potatoes. First off, we have the capital ships for the US side. I'm going to just pull these out. This was packed by Rodica, so thank you, Rodica. Get some very well detailed capital ships for the US side. You also get all the cannons. This is for the Northampton, the conning tower. This is for the Chicago. Very well detailed resin. And then for the Indianapolis. Alright, so we'll bring the ships up closer. This is the Northampton. Beautiful resin ship. Very detailed. Got to clean some flash here. But other than that, ready to paint. Prime and paint. Next up we have another Northampton class cruiser. This one is the Chicago. Again, very well detailed. We'll need to clean off the flash. But this is not going to be a very difficult model to paint. Next up we have the Indianapolis. This one is a Portland class cruiser. Very well detailed again. Gotta clean off the flash. Alright. Alright, next we'll bring out the Japanese capital ships. And so this was packed by Rodica once again, so thank you. We'll bring out the ships. So again, these are the cannons and other things. This one's for the Kumano. And then for the Furutaka, there's a conning tower right there. And then lastly, the Mogami. All right. This is the Furutaka cruiser. Very well detailed. And then next up, this is a Mogami class cruiser, and this is the Kumano. Beautifully detailed, as are the other ships. And lastly, the big one of the Japanese set, the Mogami. Oh, it's another cruiser, but this seems to be a larger base than the other Mogami cruiser, class cruiser. So, I don't know. Still, probably going to be the lead ship in your Japanese fleet for this starter box. Alright, we'll bring up the destroyers. So, here we go. Once again, Bradika. And we'll just put all these out because there's quite a few of them. I'm gonna kind of organize these and then we'll get through the next part of the video. So in this set, you get 6 Fletcher class destroyers. I'm just gonna bring up one because they're all pretty much the same. Pretty well detailed for such a tiny model. And then on the Japanese side, you get 3 Fubuki class destroyers. Again, I'll bring one up. And then lastly, you get Fubuki class conning towers and Fletcher class conning towers. Okay. Lastly, we have the, I guess, damage sliders and the cards. There's quite a few cards in here. And this just basically shows you the stats for your ships. Damage markers. It'll focus. And then show off a couple cards here. The Portland class cruiser. This one's 140 points. Some information about the class. The Furutaka class cruiser. 225 points. Information about the class. And then Northampton heavy cruiser. It's 130 points. It's weapons, and again, information about the class. Mogami class heavy cruiser, 280 points. A lot of weapons and anti-aircraft on here, or torpedoes. And then again, some more information. Next up, we have the Fubuki class destroyer, 50 points. Fletcher class, 60 points. And there you have it, Warlord Games Victory at Sea, Battle for the Pacific, a great way to get into the game system. Has the rule book, has 2 starter fleets, Japanese and US. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more unboxing videos from Wargaming Noob.